Hey everyone, welcome to this Q&A video to celebrate the 25,000 subscribers on my channel. I can't believe that we've made it. I'm going to answer some of your questions that you've sent in. And I have a cup of tea. So if you like, you can also grab a cup of tea or coffee, and I hope you enjoy this video. So I have my laptop right here with all the questions, and actually I sometimes put some questions together when it's the same kind of topic or a similar question. The first question is, where did you study music and how did you develop your musicianship, especially in arranging for classical guitar? What did your learning path look like? So to answer these questions, let me start chronologically, because I think somebody also asked me if I started out on nylon string, and the answer is no. I started on steel string guitar, and I was always listening to lots of guitar music. I grew up with being surrounded by acoustic guitar music, and that was really the starting point of my musical knowledge and everything I listened to. And so I started playing steel string, and I played songs by Tommy Emmanuel, who was and still is a big hero of mine, and also other guitarists like Don Ross, Al Padaway, and the whole fingerstyle guitar scene. Then I started studying for my Bachelor of Music in Utrecht in the Netherlands, and that's where I got to know different kinds of music, because it was not a guitar studies, not so much focused on guitar alone. It was more about finding your own voice in music, and it really gave me this broad spectrum of different music that I listened to, playing together with different kind of musicians. And I think that was really interesting for me as a guitar player to just get different ideas and just a really broad way of understanding music and getting to know music. And then at some point I got to know that there was this studies in Germany, in Dresden, in the east of Germany. And I saw that a lot of people there were playing nylon string guitar. And that's where I started to get curious a bit about nylon. And I found the music of the teachers there, and those teachers really inspired me to try and apply for these studies. So I first did an Erasmus year there in Dresden, and then I also did a Masters of Music. And when I was there in Dresden, that really gave me so much input for nylon string guitar. And so I completely switched. When I was playing steel string, I was playing without nails, and then I suddenly started playing with nails. So it was like this complete metamorphosis of my playing, and I started composing a lot of pieces, and it all was going more in the style of how I play today. So for me, it's kind of really a mixture of everything that has been in the past. So a mixture of the steel string and the very broad music studies in Utrecht, and then adding this classical nylon touch. And I feel like I have found a way to combine that all into my own voice. And so I'm really, really happy and thankful that I could have these opportunities. And the next question that you guys asked was, which musician or genre has had the biggest impact on your compositions? So I can connect this nicely to the story before, because I think the people who had the biggest impact were my teachers in Dresden. So they are Reintko Dirks, Thomas Fellow, Stefan Bormann, and Nora Buschmann. And those were my teachers over there. Also Daniel Wirtz. And I felt so inspired by the music that they played themselves. They really inspired me so much. And especially with Reintko, I was working on my original pieces a lot. So yeah, that really had a huge impact, and it was really an incredible experience to work with him on my songs, and also to work with all the other teachers in Dresden. Yeah, maybe I can write their names in the description so you can look up their music in case you're interested. Okay, then the third question is, if you could play with any musician, past or present, who would it be? Well, this is a really interesting question. The first thing that comes to my mind is, it would be past, is my dad. I would love to play together with him again. For those of you who don't know, I grew up with his guitar music basically always being around. And we also played together, we played on stage together, and those were my first experiences when I was a teenager. Practice pieces together with him. And of course that was also, I must say, an experience that had the biggest impact on me, coming back to the question from before. So yeah, that would be my first choice. But besides that, I think it's a really good question, and I'm not sure if I have one answer. There are some names that are popping up in my mind, but I'm not sure if it would be about like collaborating or playing with them together, but more that I would love to learn from this person. Like, I would love to just sit there and listen to them playing. So for example, I'm thinking about Tigran Hamazian, the jazz piano player, and Chick Corea, of course. Then also Jacob Collier, and Gregory Alan Isakov. Another thing that also comes to my mind is, it's not really a person, but more like a group musicians that I would love to play with an orchestra. I once played with the jazz orchestra of the Concertgebouw from the Netherlands, and that was a really, really cool experience. But yeah, I would really love to do that again, to play with this huge orchestra and maybe even play my own compositions with them. Okay, so for the next question, let's go somewhere else. So for the next question, which is, which of your guitars is your favorite, we have come to my new studio. And the first instrument, which is, I would say, my most favorite or most used guitar, is this nylon crossover guitar built by Christina Kobler from Austria. I've had it since August 2016, so it's almost 10 years old. Wow, that's a long time. Didn't even realize that. So I use this on stage all the time. This is my main instrument, and also whenever I compose on a guitar, then it's usually this one. I feel the most at home on this instrument. And what I also really like is here in the back, the wood, it looks a bit like a man stuck in a tree. Yeah, besides that, I really like the rosette. It's really a beautiful mosaic that Christina made there. Another special detail on this guitar is this infinity symbol on the neck. So when I play, I see that, and my initials are here on the 12th fret. So yeah, also another question I got was about which pickup systems I use. And in this one, you might have already seen it, there's this microphone inside. It's actually a longer bass with two microphones. So one is here and one is here. It's like a longer stick. And that is the Miniflex Model 1 microphone. And then I still have the Fishman Matrix Infinity, which is a piezo, which is installed under here. And I combine those two together. And then it goes into this preamp, which is the Felix Grace. And so I can combine both the pickups in here and decide how much of each pickup I want to have. I can, for example, take out some of the lows on the microphone. I can take out some of the highs on the piezo so it doesn't sound too naily. It's a really, really cool preamp, and it has a DI out, so I can go from here directly into the front of house. And I could even play with only one of the pickups if I wanted to, but yeah, you can also use this for two different guitars and use it as a kind of switch between two guitars. But I mainly use this for the two pickups. And then I also use this reverb. I have to double check. I think it's broken last time I tried it. But it's just a very simple reverb pedal. And that's my quite simple, basic setup on stage. But I think it sounds really good. Also on my live videos, I'm very satisfied with it. And then we come to my second favorite guitar, which is this steel string guitar built by Rebecca Urlacher from the US. It also has this really awesome soundboard. This guitar was built custom made for me, and this neck has the measurements that go a bit more in the classical direction. So it's not very narrow like usual in a steel string guitar. And I wanted that so that I can comfortably play the pieces that I usually also play on nylon string. Yeah, and I have used this guitar also live in the past. I think it has an Eller Bags Anthem, but I am not 100% sure actually. It looks like it. I have to double check that. But yeah, this guitar actually sounds the best acoustically. Like my nylon string was really built to sound good on stage, and acoustically it doesn't sound as it doesn't have as much projection and resonance as a real classical guitar that's not built for the stage. So for this acoustic guitar, steel string guitar, this one is really incredible acoustically. So I really enjoy playing this for whatever pieces that fit steel string better. Then on to the third guitar. This is a baritone steel string guitar, so it sounds very low. And I love to use this, as an extra guitar to get inspiration, and I have also played live with it. It's just really nice to have another kind of sound in my set whenever I play live, or just, to play for myself. Some songs sound really interesting on a lower register, especially in open tunings. I like it a lot. But also, actually, I've recorded for my before last album, which was a duo album with Ladislav Bazdera called Meraki. And on that album, I have used this guitar a lot. So we've been through a lot. And this is built by Alexander Vos Schutte from Germany, from Bremen. And when I played this guitar for the first time, I completely fell in love with it. And he was actually not planning on selling it, but we both noticed that there was something happening between me and this guitar. It was really love at the first sight. So I'm really, really grateful that he wanted to sell it to me. And still really, really happy with this. Okay, then the next question is, somebody asked me if I play any other instruments or any other type of guitars. So this is a Dobro Resonator lap steel guitar. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This was my dad's, and I have tried to play some songs on this. So you play it with... You can play it with nails too, but it's like very hard for your nails. So I played it with finger picks. And then with the left hand you use a slide that you hold. And it's not a circular slide, but has some openings so that you can really hold it like this. I don't have it right here, otherwise I would have shown it to you. And then you can slide across the neck. You can even hold it like sideways a little bit. And it's really interesting. So you cannot really push in the frets. You can only use that slide. It's a very specific sound. I think it's fun to play around with every now and then. But it's not going to be something that I'm going to use for my own compositions or something. Maybe one day I can use this to add a second part on a song of mine or something like that. And you also play this on your lap. Like it just sits like that, and then you play like this. So that's quite interesting. Besides that, I have also tried ukulele, mandolin, and there's also this little guy, which is a Greek baglamas, I think. Besides that, I do not actually play other instruments, except for a bit of piano, which I really enjoy, but it's a bit difficult when you have nails to really play properly. And also my brother is a really, really great piano player. So I just leave it up to him. Okay, I should go back to my tea again. So question number 7 is about ear training. Somebody would like to know more about that. It's of course a huge topic, so I don't think I can go that much in depth here. But what worked for me personally the best was, I started out with just learning the intervals and finding melodies that you already know and connecting those melodies to the existing intervals, like like a fifth, maybe connecting that to a song that starts with a fifth, and then you will know this melody, and you can always recollect or remind yourself to that. And the next step would be learning chords, which I think the only way to do that is to listen to a lot of music. Like, I don't know if you've maybe seen my video about how to learn a piece of music. And there I also talked about this, that for me the best way, or one of the most important things when learning a new piece, is to really know it. So listen to it as much as you can. And I think for me, when I do that, when I listen to a song over and over again, at some point I just know the feeling of the chords and I know what's coming next. So I think by listening a lot and then also trying to analyze it and also finding the joy in that, would be the best way to train your ear to recognize certain sounds. And I hope this helps. Then the next question, number 8. What should I practice to break through a plateau and reach the next level? How do you recommend structuring a daily practice routine? I feel stuck and lack repertoire when I only practice technical exercises. Okay, so to be honest, I can totally imagine that if you mainly practice technical exercises, that it's not going to be that much fun. Like, you want to, of course, make music. Like, you are a musician because you want to play, you want to perform, you want to say something with this skill that is music, but actually it's not about what you do with your fingers. It's about that you want to express something, So I would say that the best way for this is find some songs that really, really inspire you and that give you this feeling like, oh, I really want to learn how to play this piece. And then maybe it's still too difficult for you, but you really feel this drive that one day I want to know how to learn this piece. I want to be able to play that. And once you have a couple pieces that you feel like this about, then you will have the inspiration and the willpower and the motivation to learn the techniques that are necessary for these pieces. I mean, it doesn't make sense to just, in my opinion, randomly do technical exercises and randomly practice scales, for example. You need to know what is the goal that you are working towards, because otherwise that motivation is never gonna stick. So I think you need to find the kind of music or the pieces that you want to play and then work towards that as the goal. And then you can slowly build your repertoire like that. I hope this helps you a bit further. Question number 9. As a musician, what do you do to stay mentally and physically healthy? Well, I try a lot of things. It's not always easy to find a balance between, working as an independent musician and also taking care of your health and also mental health. What I do is I go for walks a lot. So I go into the forest or somewhere where there's a little bit of nature even, and try to clear my head. Usually when I feel stressed and I have a lot of things to do, then I actually want to keep working, but I try to force myself not to and just take a break and go for a walk, because it doesn't make sense to just deplete yourself from all your energy and only work. Especially, regarding creative ideas. For me, they don't come when I sit here behind my desk. They come when I experience things. So sometimes you just have to do something a little crazy in your life to get new inspiration and, to get new ideas on what you actually want and to feel this passion again, or this drive that makes you want to work in the first place or do that thing that you want to do in the first place. I think being able to switch off is very important. So for me, it's gonna be walks in nature, and I try to do sports like going to the gym and going jogging. That also really, really helps me. And just also, eating healthy, and I really try to have a very clean diet. I also like chocolate a lot, so it's not going to be 100% clean, but I try to eat a lot of vegetables, and I just really try to take care of what I put in my body in terms of food, but also like content, social media content or watching shows, watching movies, stuff like that. I really try to take care of what I consume in that way, because whatever I put in, it will come out as energy or motivation or something creative. And I think that's the most important for me. If you like, you can put in the comments below what is your number one tip to stay mentally and physically healthy. And maybe we can all get some new inspiration from each other. Then we've come to the last question, which is, are you working on another album? And what would you like to do musically in the next couple of years? So, yes, I'm working on a new album. It is still gonna take some time, but let's say that all the music is there. It's just only about recording them and then, figuring out the whole promotion, the artwork, and everything that is part of making an album, which is not composing. Actually, composing is the smallest part of everything that you need to do when making an album. So I'm definitely working on that and very excited about it. I cannot wait to show you all of that. And what I would like to do musically in the next couple of years. Well, one thing that I also get asked a lot is if I have any plans touring the US. And I would love to try and make that possible. It is a bit more difficult than touring any other country because of the visa. But I hope that I can make it work at some point in the next few years. And besides that, I am going on a very big tour this autumn. It is gonna be announced in the next couple of days, I believe. Or in the next weeks at least. So you can stay up to date for that. And besides that, I am just planning on making lots of new videos, and I've just finished building my new studio, which you will see soon. And I cannot wait to make more videos for you all. If you have any ideas or wishes on what you would like to see from me, then I would love to hear about that. And then we have come to the end of the video, and all that's left for me to say is that I am so happy and so thankful that you all are here. 25,000 people is a lot for me, and I know there are musicians who have many, many more subscribers, but I always just try to imagine a room with 25,000 people. And it's crazy that I'm talking to that many people right now. So I want to thank you for being part of my journey. And yeah, I'm also really curious to know how long you've been following me or what made you follow me. If you would be willing to share that, I would love to read. And I wish you a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.